Hello knitters, Phelan from Strand Knitting Studio in San Clemente, California. And today I have on my needles in a couple classes and another tutorial, so stay tuned. On my needles is called a bias wrap. So here's a picture of it. And I'm using it's this, you know what mohair, the Kid Silk Haze looks like? That's this, same thing. Very, very thin. It's very, very thin. Can you even see? Yep, very thin. And yeah, so I'm on a 10. The pattern says to be on a 10.5. I stayed on a 10. And that's it. So here's a picture. So this, you end up sewing or grafting this edge with the bind off edge, which obviously I haven't done yet. So this is a provisional cast on. So there's several ways to do it, but because this was so thin, I had to do it the old fashioned way, sort of. So this is a crocheted chain, and then you're picking up the stitches, the little bumps on the back of the chain, and picking up the yarn so that you can go. Now what happens at the end here is that I'll be able to pull this chain out. There's live stitches there, so that'll go on a needle, and then I will be Kitchenering or grafting out. I'll see how I do it. I'm grafting the two edges together, and it'll look like it's just one continuous. There won't be a seam. But you know, it's also sort of okay if there's a seam, but there won't be a seam. It's gonna, Kitchener makes it look like you've just knitted the whole thing. So yeah. So that's what I'm working on. Oh, the other thing that happened with this, because it is so wonderful, my regular metal needles with my really good points, it was too slick. It was too slick for me. Like, it was just not working at all. So sometimes the yarn dictates what the needles need to be. So I knew I needed to be on a wood needle. All my wood needles were at the studio, so I couldn't go there. So I was going through my stuff and trying to find something. And I have a set of acrylic needles. So I have a set of acrylic needles that I don't ever use because I really don't like them. They're actually too sticky most of the time. But on this, it was perfect. So it doesn't slick. It's not as slick, but it's still not like bad. But it's just not like wanting to come off my needles the way the metal ones were. So sometimes the yarn, if you've got something that is just not acting correctly on your normal metal kind of needles, try a wood needle, or you probably won't find acrylics, but try a wood needle, you know, one of the laminated wood ones, and it'll probably be way better, way, way, way better. But anyway, so this is, and then this is, you're adding stitches on one side, you're taking away stitches on the other side. So that's what's putting it on the bias, which means it has some stretch, which means you'll be able to get it around your shoulders easily, and it won't like be like this and stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't measured this. I'm getting this, I've got this much left of my one skein. It says you need 2 skeins. So this much left of my one skein. I'm going to measure it and see if I really need a second skein or not, or whether this is going to be okay. And of course you could do a second skein if you wanted it to be longer or something more full or something like that. You could always do a second skein, but I'm going to see if I can get away with one skein. So this yarn is up in the top row up here, this very top row, and it's interspersed with the merino that's just a solid. So like that's a merino, that's this. Okay, so we have quite a few colors. And yeah, mine's solid, but we also have these multi ones, which I think would be really pretty. And we have several colorways of the multi ones. And I think this would end up being really pretty. And it's going to somewhat stripe, but it's going to be striping on the diagonal because this is earth yarn. And so this is striping, but it's going to be on the diagonal. I think it'd be really, really pretty with one of these multi ones. So that is the bias wrap. And that's by Kit Hitchens. And I think I'm on a 10. It's called for a 10.5. I think I'm on a 10. And so I'm going to make it a class. So the class will be July 11th from 12 to 2. So that's a Saturday, July 11th from 12 to 2. And mostly, I mean, once you get going, it's just knit a row, purl a row. But you'll be learning how to do this whole provisional cast on and stuff, because this is a really good skill, because now you have live stitches, and now I can explain all the live stitches stuff with you and stuff like that. But that's what you'll be doing in the class, is just getting this started and getting that by getting this done and getting it started, that's the hard part. After you get it started, you on the knit rows, you add a stitch on this side, you take a stitch away on this side, and then you purl back. So it's super easy. The yarn is the more challenging part, is the yarn, but again, you want to be on a wood needle. Do not do this on a metal needle. You want to be on a wood needle for this, so that it doesn't go slipping all over the place for you. So that's so that's the bias wrap, and it's July 11th from 12 to 2. Second thing I put on my needles again was the papillon or butterfly shawl, which we have out in the store right now, and this is the right side. So this is the butterfly shawl, and it's stunning. It's stunning. And this uses, again, the earth yarn. It uses the striping, which is this middle row. So this one, that's one, I mean, you can do totally a bunch of versions. The other one I had started quite a long time ago. And I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do that class, I need to sort of knit on it again so I can remind myself what's going on, because it is somewhat complicated, but it's a really good pattern. So luckily, I had this already casted on and pretty much almost done, like always, right? And so after figuring out where I actually was, I started knitting on this last night. So I'm going to finish this one up, but here's another version in a different color way, which I love. So there's another colorway, the same thing. And if you go under the pattern in Ravelry, there's a ton of different versions of this, so you can sort of see different color combinations that you might like to do. So the papillon, so this class isn't going to be until the beginning of August. So, but I just wanted to have you look at it. And this is, I would say, a good intermediate class. This is not a beginning class. This is a good intermediate class. The pattern, I mean, you can see what's going on. So you're doing short rows. That's how you're getting these shapes. So you're doing short rows. Again, short rows are we're building up fabric here. So it's like you're going back and forth here, building up fabric, just going in this part right here. And then you'll go on to the next section over here, and you'll build up the fabric over here. So it looks somewhat complicated. It's about tracking, like always, but the pattern is written extremely well, and takes a lot of the complication out of it, the way she wrote up the pattern. It's a fabulous pattern. So, but it's a lot of fun. Once you get it down, know what you're doing, it's actually so much fun, because you're watching the colors change, and it's just a ton of fun. So I will be doing this class the beginning of August, as I knit mine and remind myself what it all was and how do I do it and stuff. But so that's this yarn here. It's the earth yarn. You need 2 of the colored yarn, the striping yarn, and you need 1 of the solids. And I'm on a size, what am I on? Butterfly. I'm on a size 5. So I'm on a size 5, and I think it says do it on a 4. I'm on a 5. As you all know, when I do shawls, I sort of push it up a little bit. One, I'm tight. Now, if you're loose, do it on a 4. But if you're a tighter knitter, or even just sort of normal, I sort of push it up just to make sure the drape is really good. And this is garter, so it's all knit. There's no purling. It's all knit. And that you can push needles up, and it looks great, because it doesn't look. The stitches are bigger, but you don't see it because of the garter. You know, because you've got the bumps, you're looking at bumps, you're really not looking at stitches, you're looking at bumps. And so you can get away with going up on garter stitches a lot. So there we go. Yes. So this will be in August, and I'll talk more about it in a few weeks, but I just wanted to show you what I was working on. So that's called the Butterfly or Papillon Shawl, and it's by Marin Janitz. And the class will be August 2nd, which is a Sunday from 10 to 12, August 2nd. You won't hear me talking about it for a couple weeks now, but just, if you're interested, get it on your calendar, and I'll pick it up again in a couple weeks and talk about it. Tutorial is about the Sophie scarf, which is the phenomenon for the last, I think it's 4 years now, 5 years. And if you look at it, it has an ichord edge that you work during the whole thing. So it's not something you add later, it's just part of your row. and it creates this beautiful, beautiful edge. So since she came out with this, half of these little tiny scarves, these small little scarlets, whatever you want to call them, scarves, little tiny ones that you just wrap around your neck and it just keeps you warm right here. A ton of them are using this ichord edging now. As a matter of fact, a lot of things, shawls, are really using the ichord edging because it's so pretty. It's such a pretty edge and it's not hard. It's a simple, simple thing. So the tutorial is going to show you how you do this. And yeah, so this one, this particular one is out of the, look at that, I used all 3 rows today. So this is out of the Dream, which is DK weight. You can obviously, it's a scarf, you can do it out of worsted if you wanted to. This is DK weight, and this is the Cashmere Merino, and it's beautiful. One skein, make yourself the larger scarf with some left over if you even want to make it a little bit longer. But it's a very fun knit. As I said, there's probably 30,000 people. I mean, I've knitted 5 of these. When it came out, I knitted, that's what everybody got for Christmas, and I knitted 5 of them. Good Christmas, very good Christmas. I had another knitter last year who knit like 5 or 6 of them for Christmas presents. So it's very fun. And the tutorial is just going to show you how to deal with the ichord because it's just different. It's not at all hard, but it's just different. Something different's going on, and you just need to recognize what it is. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so here's how we do the ichord. So I'm going to start where I'm at now. So an ichord is usually your yarn is starting 3, 4, or 5 stitches from the beginning. And as you go ahead and knit this yarn with this stitch, it pulls these 3 stitches sort of into this circle. So see how it's like this is a circle right here. It's a tube. It's an actual tube. So if you've got 5 or 6, like the little gnome guy, I think is 5 or 6 stitches for his legs. That's how an ichord is actually made. So I'm obviously, you know, in process here. So I would knit this row. All these rows are knit. There's no purling, which is fabulous for this Sophie scarf. So, but as you can see, the yarn's coming off this, it's actually coming off this 4th stitch. I slipped these 3 stitches. So the yarn is actually coming off that 4th stitch. But I'm just gonna go ahead and knit and see how it just pulls. Now on the 2nd stitch, I pull pretty tight. That way I can get it to come around and I don't have a string between my stitches in the back. All right, so then you just knit all the way to the end. Oh no, to the last 3 stitches. So here I go, last 3 stitches. Luckily, I'm in a short part of this. Okay, so there's my last 3 stitches. There's my last 3 stitches. Now you're gonna move your yarn in front, just like you're gonna purl or yarn over. So you just move the yarn to the front. So you go over the right-hand needle. You're not going to cross over like this. You're going to go in between the 2 needles over the top of the right-hand needle. So now the yarn's just sitting in front. And you're going to slip as to purl. So you're going tip to tip straight in. You're not going to go like you're going to knit because that will twist the stitch. We don't want to twist them. We want them straight. So you're going to go straight in like that and just slip them over. That's it. And now again, here my yarn is coming after these 3 stitches. Turn around and go again. And that's the whole thing. That's just all there is to it. It's really simple to do and applied ichord edges. Very simple. Again, pull really tight on the 2nd stitch just to help those stitches go around the back. And see what I might do is, so see how to go around the back and see these ones right next to your needle. If you looked at them, these ones right next to your needle, you go, oh wait, but I can see the things. But as you see, as you get down from the needle down here, it all pulls together and you don't see anything. So this stitch will pull over and it just looks like it's just a beautiful edge. Did the ichord bind off? Well, this is another way to use ichord. It's very stretchy. Again, all knit, easy peasy, easy peasy. And yeah, so you can either just do a scarf, a regular everyday scarf, you know, that's however wide you want it. And you just, the first 3 and the last 3 stitches are your ichord, and then you're just knitting back and forth. Gorgeous. I mean, that makes a gorgeous scarf for anybody. And then of course there's this Sophie scarf, a necktie thing, which I just love. So anyways, there's your little tutorial. Okay, and I think that's it for today. And I hope to see you in the studio real soon. Bye.